4 decades, one man stood at the center of Iran's political, military, and religious establishment. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei wasn't simply the man at the helm of Iran. He was the face of Islamic Republic and the final voice on matters of state. For millions of Iranians, he represented the Islamic Republic itself. And now, as Iran prepares for its final burial on July 9, the world isn't simply watching a funeral. It is watching what may be Iran's biggest political demonstration since the war with the US and Israel. Because this story is no longer about death. It is about the message Iran wants the world to see after the guns have fallen silent. Think about what's happening. This isn't a one-day funeral. Iran has turned it into a multi-day state ceremony stretching across several cities in Iran and Iraq. Before the final burial, every procession, every prayer, every public gathering has become part of something much larger. The streets of Tehran are packed beyond capacity. Millions have gathered. The images are extraordinary. But perhaps the more interesting question is, why is Iran making the funeral this public? Because funerals often tell us as about the living as they do about the dead. Remember the timing. Only days ago, Iran emerged from one of the biggest military confrontations in its recent history. Its military infrastructure was damaged. Senior commanders were killed. Its supreme leader is now gone. Many expected uncertainty, perhaps even signs of weakness. But instead, Iran is showing the world something entirely different. Look at these crowds. Look at the scale. Look at the symbolism. The funeral has become a statement that the Islamic Republic remains standing, that leadership may change, but the system survives. And that message isn't directed only at Iranians, it is directed at the world. Take India, for example. New Delhi sent an official delegation to attend the funeral. Soon after, Iran publicly thanked India. Its message was unusually warm. It said, "We will never forget this gesture of friendship." That wasn't merely diplomatic courtesy. It was Iran acknowledging which countries chose to stand beside it during one of the most sensitive political moments. But not every country made that choice. Reports suggest Washington privately warned several nations against attending the funeral, and eventually, around 13 countries either withdrew or reduced their participation. Yet, despite that pressure, several foreign delegations still arrived, which raises another bigger question. Has this funeral quietly become a test of geopolitical alignment? Because every delegation attending and every delegation staying away carries its own diplomatic message. And then there is another side of this funeral, one that is driven not by diplomacy but by emotion. Among mourners was a woman who traveled nearly 4,000 kilometers from the United Kingdom to attend Khamenei's funeral. She wasn't representing any government. She wasn't part of any official delegation. She came because she believed she had to be there. It is one of many personal stories emerging from these ceremonies. Stories that explain why, for many supporters, Khamenei was far more than a political leader. But perhaps the most striking images came from the crowds themselves. It wasn't mourning, it was anger. Placards targeted former US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Some mourners shouted, "Kill them both like dogs." Others displayed symbolic rewards and offered of land tied to calls for revenge. These slogans don't represent official government policy, but they reveal the intensity of public sentiment among sections of the crowd after months of conflict. And perhaps that brings us back to the biggest question. What exactly are we watching? A funeral or a carefully choreographed political spectacle? Because every packed street, every foreign delegation, and every slogan with every diplomatic message appears to serve one purpose, and that is to show that even after the war, even after losing its supreme leader, Iran wants the world to believe one thing, that the Islamic Republic remains united, defiant, and ready for whatever comes next. Perhaps history won't remember this week only as the farewell to Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. It may remember it as the moment Iran transformed a funeral into a declaration of political survival. Stay tuned for more such insightful coverages. This is Ritu and you were watching DNA Explained.